This is Zach Wilt for BaltimoreSportsReport.com, and on the line today I'm talking with Ben Nicholson-Smith of MLBTradeRumors.com. Ben, thanks so much for joining us.
Hey, it's my pleasure.
Of course, the big news today is Dave Trembley has been let go by the Orioles, and Juan Samuel is the interim manager. Probably not shocking news, Ben. What were your initial thoughts and your thoughts moving forward for the Orioles?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where for Trembley, it's been a lot of speculation for the past couple of weeks, and I don't think anyone was really that surprised to see him go, especially because the Orioles are in the midst of an eight-game losing streak, swept by the Yankees, swept by the Blue Jays. They're just not playing very well, so the time had kind of come for them to make some kind of a change, and they're bringing in yet another first-time manager. I mean, going back to Dave Trembley and Sam Perlazzo and
Right.
this is once Samuel, his first time. We'll see how he does, but he's an interim manager, so maybe they'll go out and find someone more experienced in the long run.
Probably a little bit different, in my opinion, as an interim manager. Dave Trembley was brought in and kind of won the job, and was given that contract at the end of last year after the interim basis when Sam Perlazzo was fired. What kind of names are you hearing for the Orioles? Are they going to go out at the end of the season and try to get one of those big name managers that are left unemployed right now, or do you think they'll try to go with somebody small and work them into their system?
It's hard to say because the Orioles don't have an obvious candidate to take over as the full-time guy in their system right now. So
Right.
it's not like the Mets, you kind of have Bob Melvin in there waiting to take over if something goes wrong. But maybe, they'll go after a Buck Showalter or a Bobby Valentine, somebody like that. But it is pretty hard to predict at this point because it would be someone from outside the organization.
Right. And as an outsider, Ben, what do you think? I mean, this team has really struggled this year, and kind of showed good growth last year with their young pitching prospects, and those guys have kind of teetered off this year. What's your opinion? I mean, what kind of guy do they need to bring in to replace Tremblay?
It's funny because it's obviously they need somebody who can help those young players develop and mix them in with the veterans that presumably Andy McPhail is going to keep adding to the club. But part of the problem that Tremblay had this year is that those guys like Wieters and Adam Jones haven't taken those strides to becoming the elite players that we're expecting them to become. So until that happens, then any manager managing the team is not going to look very good.
Right. Right. Well, that's the latest on Dave Tremblay. As we said, Juan Samuel is the interim manager starting today against the Boston Red Sox, which they hadn't played well this season, but had a pretty good May and seem to be rolling pretty well tonight. So we'll have to see how that works out.